Welcome to Web API tutorials. I'm Venkat. This is part 30, Serilog in Web API. Using this Serilog, we can see how we can log messages to their file. This is the documentation web page we have been looking at. These are the default loggers we have already looked at. And if you scroll down a little bit, here you can see one link for third-party logging providers. Click on that. Here you can see a set of third-party libraries, and out of all this we will look at this Serilog and Log4Net. In this video, let us look at the Serilog. Open the Serilog website. This is the Serilog official website, Serilog.net. And if you come down all the way, here you can see a link, Serilog integration for ASP.NET Core 2+. You can click on this, or you can see a GitHub link here. You can also click on this one. So both are same links. So you can click on this one or that one. I'm clicking on this one. And we have landed in the GitHub page of the Serilog ASP.NET Core. If we want to use this Serilog, we need to install this particular library in our application, Serilog.ASP.NET Core library. Okay, copy that. And let us install in our application. Go to Manage Nugget Packages and paste that. Yeah, here is the library. I'm installing it. Serilog.ASP.NET Core. Install. And it is asking go ahead. Yeah, accept. Serilog got installed. After that, we need to install a provider. Search with Serilog. And I wanted to show you the file demo. So I need to install serilog.sinks.file. If you want to use Serilog for console, you can install this one. There is a debug provider also. You can install that. But this time I wanted to show you the file demo. So I'm installing this one, Serilog.sinks.file. Okay. So those two libraries got installed. You can look at them. Serilog.ASP.NET Core, Serilog.sinks.file. Those are the two libraries I have installed. Let me close the Nugget package manager. And let me go back to the documentation page. If we wanted to use Serilog in our application, we need to create a logger. Then we need to add it to our application. Only two steps needed. First step is adding the provider. Second step is the adding Serilog. Okay, let's copy adding provider and go to our program.cs file. Remove the existing lines. We don't need that. And paste that. In the documentation, they have given a sample to console provider. Here we don't need a console provider. Here we want a file provider. That's it. So file provider, where to log? The file path, log/log.txt. That's my file path. That's it. And if you want to mention the log levels, so it will start logging everything. If you want to mention the log level, here you can mention it, minimum level dot. I wanted to log it from information level. In the previous video, we have discussed about these log levels. This is for log level setting. Okay, so I have added the log level. If you want to write everything to a single text file, then this is the configuration. But if you want to generate a new log file every day, so there is a configuration for that. The configuration here is, so rolling interval, rolling interval dot. I wanted to generate text file for every day. So I'll select day. But in the demo, I cannot wait one day to show you the new file got generated. So I wanted to change it to the minute, every minute. If I set a rolling interval dot minute, the text file, this particular text file will get generated for every minute. If you put a day here, it will be generated for every 1 day. So for this particular demo, I will set it as a minute. And that's it. That's the logger configuration. I'm done with the configuration. And the next step here is adding the builder.host.use Serilog line. I have copied that and adding it here. I have pasted that. Okay, so I have added that. Now the Serilog configuration is done. You need to notice here, this particular log class is coming from this particular namespace. When you are writing this particular code, notice that this particular namespace got automatically added when we pasted it. Okay, in your case, if it is not added automatically, you add it. So the configuration is done. Let me run our application. Before running our application, let us look at our solution. There is no log file already. Let me run it. Let me put it side by side. Yeah, if you notice the console window, there is nothing logging because everything is logging into the text file this time. If you want to look at the text file, you can open the Solution Explorer. You can see the log folder got created and there is a file. Because this is being used, that's why it is saying cannot be opened. Okay, let me execute this particular line. Let me execute this action method. So inside this demo action method, let me show you. Inside this particular demo controller index method, we have written all the log levels. So from trace to critical, but in the configuration, we have configured it to log only from the information level, meaning we should see the logs logging only for these 4 lines: information, warning, error, and critical. So these two will be skipped because our minimum log level is information. From information to higher levels, it will log. Okay, so let me show you the demo and let me open this and open this one. So you can notice the new text file will be generated. You can see here, try it out, execute. There is a new text file got generated because 1 minute got over. So new file got generated for the next minute. So the configuration here, if you look at the configuration, we have configured it to create a new file for every minute. That's why it got created a new file. So if you open the previous file, you can see the logs. And the current file is this one because this is being used. So we cannot open it. Okay, let us wait for 1 minute. Let me click execute again. Yeah, the next file got created because 1 minute is over. Here we can see the messages got logged only from information level. So you can see the information, warning, error, and critical. So because the minimum level configuration here is the information, that's why it has skipped these 2 lines. Okay, we can see only these 4 lines getting logged. Log message from information method, warning method, error method, and critical method. That is how we can use the Serilog. But if you notice here, everything is getting logged to text file only. But if you want to use the default loggers at the same time Serilog, if you want to use the Serilog along with the default loggers, inbuilt loggers, you need to change it. When you use this Serilog on top of the host method, the default or built-in loggers getting overridden with the Serilog logger. If you want to use both the built-in and Serilog parallelly, you need to modify it like a logging.add If you change this particular statement like this, then both the providers, inbuilt and Serilog, will start working. Okay, let me rerun this. This time you can see there are statements logging in the console window because this time built-in loggers and the Serilog both are working. You can see the debug window also. Here we can see all the messages getting logged. And here if I click on execute, try it, execute. So here we can see there are messages logged into the console window. At the same time, if I go to the Visual Studio and the log folder, we can see the new file got generated. This is the previous file and this is the recent file got created. That is how we can use both inbuilt and Serilog. Okay, use this particular statement if you want to use Serilog along with built-in loggers. And the previous statement is builder.host.use Serilog. Use this line to override built-in loggers. Okay, this particular statement will override the built-in loggers. This particular statement will add Serilog also to the application. This will not override the built-in loggers, meaning built-in loggers and Serilog both will work. That's why we are seeing the messages in the console. When we tested this particular statement, we did not see any messages in the console. Everything is being written to the text file. This is all about the Serilog. In the next video, let us look at the Log4net.